Hello, everyone. I'm Allie, and I am the founder of the Girlfriends Club, and I am so excited to be with you all tonight for another episode of Girlfriend to Girlfriend, where we girlfriend, and it's all about girlfriending, especially now during the holiday season. And I'm joined here with my golden doodle Daisy, who's 12 years old. And she's here tonight because this episode is going to be surrounding the adoption of fur babies. And we've invited Leslie Granger, who's the president and CEO of Bidawee, to join Jane Hanson and I in a few minutes to talk about adopting a fur baby. And also today being Giving Tuesday, what does that mean? So please help me welcome my girlfriend, Jane Hanson, who's joining me, I think, from Manhattan this evening. Jane tends to be in the most bougie of destinations every Tuesday. And I'm just really, there she is. You're very bougie.
I am. Well, do you like my sparkly top?
Yeah, I do.
Speaking of girlfriends, I am in Manhattan on the Upper East Side, and I am staying tonight with one of the first girlfriends I ever made when I moved to New York City quite some time ago.
That's awesome.
But she's graciously hosting me. And the funny part is the way in which we met, which today is so freaking politically incorrect, is at a women's mud wrestling event.
Oh, do tell.
You don't even know what to say. This is Jenny. This is Jenny. Say hi.
She was the judge at my women mud wrestling event for Wall Street Charity Fund for the mentally retarded.
Can you imagine?
You're very brave, girls. You're very brave.
Can you imagine? Nobody would allow that sort of thing to happen today. But anyway.
No, not at all.
A long time ago.
Well, that was
great. It did benefit a lot, the mentally challenged. But
well, one of these days we'll have to peel back the onion on that story. I'd like the backstory to the full story one day.
But did you have a wonderful Thanksgiving?
I did. I really did. As much as I was hemming and hawing, and I can't believe it's just the three of us, it worked out to be just fine. And you know what? It so cliche, but it's just about the people you're with, right? So it was, as Harrison said, a typical dinner for three, but we did sit in the dining room and whatever. It was all good. What about you? You were at Gurney's Inn? No.
No. I was in West Hampton staying at another girlfriend's house.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It was just my daughter and I and Charlie, her dog.
Yes.
We had a lovely time. And Charlie probably ate more turkey than any should, but she loved it. Charlie's a girl, by the way.
Yes.
But we had it was really, really, really nice. And my daughter said to me at one point, she goes, Mom, it's kind of nice to actually not have to be expected to dress up, to be entertaining, to be gregarious, to have all these people around. She goes, I kind of like it. It's a good excuse.
Yeah.
And, she didn't really mean it like a good excuse, but what she meant was it was a time for us to really spend time together. And
good for you guys.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, just a dinner for two. And that's magnificent. I mean, think about that. It's so true. We're so caught up in our day to day. It's nice to just sit back, and I totally understand her thought process,
I have to tell you, we had turkey breast versus a whole turkey. It was like 6 pounds. It was the best turkey I've ever made or tasted.
Really? Yeah.
So and she had a really wonderful recipe for it. So I may share that, and I may also be doing that in the future.
Well, I love that. Well, if she made you those nice cocktails last week, so it seems like she's a little gifted in that area.
She's very much
entertainer.
She's a wonderful chef. If it weren't for her, I probably would have been eating McDonald's.
A steak.
Or a turkey sandwich.
Well, as you can see behind me, so my tradition is the day after Thanksgiving, I start to decorate. So I'm going to try to use each of my rooms as we move forward because I really go all out.
Yeah, I love a tour because I would just love a tour. I know. I heard your house is magnificent. I haven't seen it. Rated, yeah.
it's
So I'm heard it looks just fabulous.
it's not necessarily magnificent, but it's just cozy and it's home. And I love to decorate and make it all sparkly. So I figure that if I'm going to put in 8 hours getting it all decorated, I might as well enjoy it. So I put it up the day after Thanksgiving and I leave it up for quite a while.
Oh, look
But
at
I
this.
digress.
I'm gonna
Oh,
do for
I
her
love that.
How about this?
Now you have a animal. Perfect. Which is the perfect segue to bring on Leslie.
It is, isn't it? This is so cute.
I love it.
I wish Charlie the dog were with me.
Oh no. Well, let's bring on Leslie Granger. Hi, Leslie.
Oh,
Allie. Hi, Jane. How are you?
I'm good.
Look at you. Hi, Jack.
Oh, look. This is Jack. Who's that, Jane?
Yeah, really.
It's a goofy deer, but
Love it.
meant to entertain us, just like animals do. Without them, I don't know how most of us would have made it through the past few months.
Yeah. So Leslie, I mean, like that's basically, I mean, I think the big headline throughout COVID has been how so many animals have been adopted and fur babies are the new bougie accessory, and how important they have been these past 7 months, just helping people cope and get by. And I know we talked a little bit about how, there's been quite an uptick in adoptions. So what's happening over at Bidawee? Do you have enough resources? Are there puppies? What do we need to tell our audience here?
There are puppies. I mean, it's been absolutely the silver lining, I think, of COVID is what happened as soon as we went into shutdown in March. People just clamored, for adopting, for fostering was the big, big key. Which helped us out immensely because we really wanted to be able to lessen the number of animals in shelter so that I could lessen the number of staff together. Right away, we had to change the way we do things.
Did you guys have to go through a lockdown too? I mean, how did that work with the spacing and the masks and all that stuff? And
it was, fast learning curve where there was no time to really take our time and learn. But what we ended up doing pretty quickly, because we were considered an essential service. So we were always an essential business. We never shut down. We have to take care of the animals in our care. But we did adapt pretty quickly. Everybody is wearing masks. We have all kinds of rules in place for our building. And we have our staff working in teams. So there's smaller numbers. If anybody gets sick on a team, the team stays home. We were very lucky. We haven't had, knock on wood, any COVID outbreaks or anything. So we've really been keeping everyone safe. Adopters now need to apply online and then make an appointment. We do a Zoom call with them to meet them first, and then they're able to come in by appointment only. So it's not so much people coming into the shelter to sort of, window shop as it were anymore, but it's really got to be something you're convinced you're going to do with your family and you're ready for it.
yeah.
Leslie, is there different protocols associated with being with adopting and where you live? So the suburbs versus the city, are there different protocols associated with that or no?
No, there's not different protocols, but you really want to consider your lifestyle, your situation. Are you an apartment? Do you have a yard? Are you looking for a lap dog? Are you looking for a lap kitty? Or are you somebody who's really active, who has a backyard, who's going to go on hikes and walks and runs and wants that kind of dog? So it's really, we call our adoption staff matchmakers for a reason, because we're there to help make that match, that forever match with you and find the right pet for your lifestyle.
And what about fostering? So you said that was a big thing.
Fostering was huge. The first week of the shutdown, we had more than 700 applications for people who wanted to foster pets. So we've had so many animals. It's so wonderful fostering a pet. First of all, if you're not sure, am I really a dog person? Do I have what it takes to take care of a puppy and a dog? consider
Yeah.
fostering.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Sure.
a great way to give back to an animal in need. It's a great way for us to better know the personality of an animal. Think about it. A dog or a cat in a shelter is not the same dog or cat that's going to be, you know, what they are when they come home. You know,
Yeah.
they're nervous, there's noises, there's smells. So we get to learn much more about why are you so nudgy?
It's like this one.
He wants to be a star. Let him be
Yeah.
a star.
He's like, no, I want to get down and then I'm going to bark. And so if you have the patience for that,
Personality. So, you know, there was a lot of concern when we heard all of this about people really adopting animals very quickly during COVID for a number of reasons, one of which it was about maybe it'll help with depression or isolation and all those things, because we all know that there's nothing like an animal to help you feel good. Are you concerned that when we all get vaccinated and go back to work and do all of that, that there'll be a lot of these animals that might no longer be with the families because they can't handle them when they go back to work?
I've heard, you know, that's sort of been, you know, in the back of our minds, and we've sort of said it, you know, is that a concern? So far, we haven't seen anything that indicates that, thankfully. You know, we think and do talk to people before they adopt, like, you know, what are your plans once you go back to work? If you're working from home, do you have plans in place? Do you have, you know, resources where you can get a dog walker or cat sitter, things like that? And I think people really are very genuine in their thought process. I really talk to people. This is a 12, 15, potentially 18 to 20 year commitment. This is not like, hey, it's my COVID times pup and that's it.
Right.
So far, we haven't, even with people slowly going back, we haven't seen anything. I hope that stays the case for sure.
Yeah,
So,
that would be tragic. Like
Wouldn't
I don't want to hear about all these puppies and kittens that are like left at home and not being taken care of. That's awful.
No.
well, yeah, I think so. But I also think that because it appears to me that you guys offer a lot of services too to help people. So if somebody feels like they're struggling, they could always come to you and say, what can we do? How can you, et cetera. Because I've been to the Bidawee that's out by West Hampton many times. My daughter was looking for a dog for quite a while, and it was really fun to go see them. Of course, she wanted to take every single one home.
I know the feeling.
Leslie has taken them all home.
Haphazard. No, I haven't.
So I'm curious, Leslie. I mean, that's such a work of love as a profession. Like, what got you into doing this in the first place?
I loved animals my entire life. Growing up, I had such an affinity for every cat, dog, rabbit, mouse, hamster that I could.
Your mother must have loved it when you came to school.
With
Oh,
the
boy.
mouse.
Exactly. And I think that, it's actually a funny story because I live in Port Washington, which is actually where North Shore Animal League is. And back in the day, I did work there for a little while. But first, I used to go and wander in. I was a fundraiser. That's what I'd done it for the arts. I used to walk in there a couple times every month and just, window shop and dream of it. And, one day there was an opening and my wish came true. And I started my career trajectory in animal welfare, and I wouldn't change it. It's just, anyone who knows me knows I love every animal that there is.
How many are in your house right now? She's not answering that, Alex.
I have 3 cats and I have 2 dogs, one of which is a COVID puppy. I succumbed to the COVID puppy trend, as it were, but I take it very, very seriously. And I actually, although I was somebody who said never, ever would I adopt a puppy again, I only wanted the old sort of tongue hanging out, one eye, puppies, older puppies. And I ended up, so it's never say never.
That's right. So
Especially
Leslie, I
animals. Sorry, sweet.
want to talk a little bit about the psychology of how we all feel that, by adopting a pet, we're really rescuing them. But in turn, it's been proven that they're really, we're rescuing each other. and the company associated, you know, with having a pet. And hello over there.
Job
But you know, just that comfort, right? And you know, the ability, you know, to have a dog or any type of fur baby with you, you know, the psychology behind it is just so positive. Look at how President Bush's dog, you know, just never left his side.
Right. There's, you know, there are studies that show the positive effects physically, emotionally, psychologically that a pet can have on you. There are studies that show petting a cat or a dog actually lowers your heart rate. So beyond that, especially during COVID times, people who are alone in apartments, who were, you know, really isolated, had the company of their pets. And the fact of the matter is that you're right. It's not just them, us rescuing them, it's them also rescuing us. And we actually at Bidawee have a tagline of be their hero. But the interesting thing behind it is people think it's us being the hero to rescuing the pet. It's not just that way. Sometimes
Right.
they're our hero as well. You know, so it really we look at it as both ways. And people say, oh, they rescued me.
Yeah, well, that's, and we feel that way about Daisy. And the other thing is, like, the three of us, the kids and I will sit down for dinner, and what do we talk about? Daisy, not about our day. It's like, did you see what she did? Or, and Mary Kate is constantly saying, I wonder what she's thinking. Like, does she think we're wacko? Like, but what is it? And it's so true. They become a part of the family. It's
They
so
are.
cliche, but you know, at the end of the day, feed the kids or the dog, the dog's going to get fed.
Okay, Leslie, I have a question. You know how everybody else says your people and their dogs look alike? Do you think that's true?
I've seen plenty of cases where
Daisy, come back. Daisy has blonde hair. Help
Daisy does
me.
not look anything like you, Allie. I will say that. And I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't look like Jack with my tongue hanging out. But I have seen a lot.
Depends on the night, doesn't it?
I think that's true.
How many drinks have I had? And then I can look like Jack.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But I mean, this is all the good stuff, right? So how can people, what's the first step in adoption? Is it, you know, going to the website? You know, how would you send people your way? How do we do that?
First step really is to decide with your family, like, is this
Oh.
right for us? That's the first step. Back up.
Gosh.
Once you're all decided, you're ready, you're going to commit to it, you're going to work with training this animal, because remember, we want that animal to stay with you. And the best way to have that animal is to have one that fits into the family and is well trained and well behaved. And so go through that and those conversations first. Once you've done that, hop on the internet, go to bidawee.org, check out what we have, like what type of animal fits your lifestyle. Is there something there? Fill out an application online. If there's somebody who catches your eye, fill out an application online. If you're not quite sure yet, if you're ready to adopt, fill out a foster application, become a foster parent. It's a great way to test the
I
water.
love that. I love that idea.
Agreed.
I'll be signing you up, Ollie.
Yeah. Like, okay, great. I love that.
She's got room. We got room. But I know that there's now a much lessened supply. So if people come and go online, they may not be able to get an animal immediately, correct? I mean, there may be a waiting list, particularly if they're looking for a certain size or a certain, small dog, big dog, etc. Right?
Patience is definitely a virtue. It's hard right now because there aren't as many animals going into the shelters around New York area. And so, and beyond, there are other places where it's really hard right now because so many people came out to adopt and there aren't as many surrenders, so what we say is look online, keep checking, keep trying. You want to really put your mind to it. Check every day. Our website is updated every single day. It's real time. Who's on the web is available. Get the application in, you get through, you get an interview or, conversation with our matchmakers. And
I love that. The matchmakers.
Other kind of matchmakers.
So wait a second, Leslie, on the other side, before we wrap up, what about volunteers? How are you guys doing with volunteers? Is there?
It's a little different right now. Typically I'd be like, come out and volunteer.
Okay.
Different because we have to limit the number of people in our buildings. So we have smaller groups of volunteers. They volunteer in one team. They stay with the same team. We want to keep everybody safe. And,
Okay.
and when you do come in to adopt, masks on, everybody's socially distant,
Right.
very, very, we want you safe. We want our staff safe, volunteers safe. So we really, really careful about how we go about doing this.
That's great.
Amazing. So awesome. Cause I know like dog walkers, I see them and it's like, I think that is so much fun too. So maybe I could be a foster and a dog walker. Oh, we'll have a long list of things that I could do.
Gonna work. You're not going to have any time to go to work or to do this show.
Oh, right. I forgot about the day job. Darn. I hate that.
You know,
Anyway.
my daughter was a dog walker up in Boston before COVID hit. She did that kind of on the side. And now then everybody, and she loved these dogs. She became such good friends with them. And then everybody came home and there was no more dogs. Like,
Aw.
I have to get a dog now.
Oh, that is so hard. I want to do that. I love puppies. I love animals. I encourage everyone out there that everybody should have like some kind of a fur baby in their life.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing better. So Leslie from Bidawee, Bidawee.org, thank you so much for joining us for some girlfriending time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next couple of weeks. I hope we get to have some Christmas hugs. Well, socially distanced hugs, whatever.
Bumps.
Exactly, whatever. So thank you for joining us.
It's so great to talk about this with you, and everybody should have a fur baby in their life.
I know it's all about fur babies. So www.bidawee.org. Thank you, Leslie.
Yes.
Happy.
Thank you.
Bye, Leslie.
Look at this.
Oh, isn't she awesome?
She's great. She's really amazing. And
Yeah.
I mean, the work that they do,
It's tremendous.
it's really great.
It is such a dedication. I mean, you really have to be dedicated to that whole lifestyle and being able to, if they fall in love every day with these animals and they get adopted, and it's really hard. And I think we've all witnessed it. So anyway, thank you for being here. You look great and sparkly, and you better go out now. You look really good.
And where am I going to go?
I don't know, but I'm just thinking like you look really awesome.
So yeah, well, take my picture.
I wish I could. I don't even know you're right. This is your girlfriend should be taking a picture of you because this whole setting is perfect.
Say I am.
Thank you, Ginny. But the thing is that, I mean, literally there is no place to go. And it's interesting. I took a picture today because I saw on the street of Manhattan that there was a restaurant that's building a whole new kind of on the street area that will be, I guess, a little like a tent-like thing because they know they're going to be probably in another lockdown or something.
It's the street experience.
Yes.
Smile,
So-
Jenny. Smile.
All right. Well, you two girls go have a glass of wine.
All right, sweetheart. I hope you're all good. Okay.
Thank you.
And I'll see you next week when we're going to talk
Okay.
what?
I'm going to be a theory. And we're going to
I
be talking
know.
about our favorite things.
Clothing.
Clothing. Favorite things for the gift list at Theory. All right, girlfriend.
We can look good there too. And I love that top, by the way. You look fabulous.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
Everybody.
Mwah. Bye.